Whoops. And to begin with, this is our third CEI, our Customer Engagement Initiative Council Communication meeting, kind of an overview of CEI. And tonight, it's an overview particularly of the Volunteer Toolkit, which I find very fascinating and cool. So I hope you all enjoy this. I've already given my hello and shout outs, and we know who's on this evening. And as we go along, usually in the first 5 to 10 minutes, other people start joining us, so they'll come along. So with the agenda that we have tonight, we're going to just quickly go over CEI, just a quick overview, and then we're going to get into the depths of the Volunteer Toolkit. And then talking about kind of what's happening now with the council staff and volunteers and how we're working together to make this a reality and how everyone can help, and then a Q&A. So CEI itself was something started by Girl Scouts of the USA about 4 or 5 years ago, and councils have been rolling over into it. It really is, the idea is to improve the volunteer experience, making it easier for girls, making it easier for volunteers to get involved in Girl Scouting. The real top key things is they've shortened the amount of onboarding time for for the online registration of members, not only for girl membership, but to get volunteers on as well. And they've placed in a unique app that can be accessible via tablet or smartphone, computer, and such, that has things like what's called an opportunity catalog. It allows people to search for troops to place their girls in, and it allows volunteers to also look for positions with different troops. There's also the Volunteer Toolkit, which we're going to talk about tonight, and it pretty much is an app that allows us to simplify troop planning and communications. And also a really big thing for the council itself is we've been analyzing all of our business processes, because we want to have better customer care of how we go about answering questions and how we go about working with our incredible volunteers and parents. So let's dive into the Volunteer Toolkit. It's very simplified troop planning. That's pretty much what they've come together with. They're trying to find a way to help the volunteer basically cut their time in half, making it easier for them to plan, to track, to look into how to actually do more simplified troop meetings. There's every age level is involved, including multi-level troops. Daisies through juniors, Daisy, Brownie, and junior troops are going to actually be able to plan with badges and journeys. They haven't done that yet for the older girls, cadets through ambassadors, but they're actually working on that. They'll be able to use the Volunteer Toolkit. They just won't have access to a very simplified badge and journeys planning for a troop meeting. This Volunteer Toolkit, it's actually shared by co-leaders. It's also can be viewed by the parents. They can't go in there and change anything, but they can see it. And they can see their daughter's information, but the rest of the troop is private to them. So it does allow the retention of privacy for girls. It's a great communication vehicle with parents, because you're going to be able to shoot out, when the next meeting is or the next activity or trip. It's a way to communicate with your parents all in one place with one click of a button. There's also a really cool place in there where you can track your meeting attendance, but for the younger girls, the badge and journey progress. I thought that was fabulous. And there's also, they're allowing Girl Scouts of the USA as well as the council to import specific important dates to shoot out to all the troops, just to remind them of different milestones coming up. So here's kind of how you're going to enter it. I consider it like a portal. So this is actually a shot of another Girl Scout Council website, and it'll actually be on the right-hand corner. It'll be called My GS, and there will be 2 areas you can enter. The top is going back to the home page of the website, but a member profile, which is a membership database, and the Volunteer Toolkit is what we're going to look at tonight. But let's back out of here. I'm going to kind of show you where just briefly on our website. So here's our great website here. So it's going to be right over in this corner is where you're going to see My GS when we launch in June. It'll pop up there and we'll let you all know when it's live. So who can access this? Like I said before, troop leaders, co-leaders, all age levels, parents, as well as council staff. So I've been asked before if service units can get in and see what troops are doing. No, they don't have access to that. It is specifically for the troop itself, for its leaders, as well as its parents. The focus of it, they're kind of have a two-tiered focus. There's a program focus where you're actually able to do a yearly plan. They have it currently with 15 meetings, but you can expand upon that. And then they have a meeting plan within that, as well as resources like safety activity checkpoints, along with other just kind of general pieces of Girl Scouting knowledge, volunteer essentials, things like that. And then there's what's called the troop management focus, and that allows you to it's called My Troop. It actually, we'll see in a little bit here, it allows you to look at your troop members, who they are, updating any information on them that's needed, things like that. And the parents will have access to that area as well, so they can update their daughter's information. And there's a finance tab in it. Currently, it is inactive, but they're looking at activating it in June when we actually roll over. And it'll kind of be like a way to track our finances either on a quarterly or annual basis. It's up to the council. So we'll put out more specifics on that later. So let's pop into the demo. I've already got an open up over here. Let me move that. So this is actually a demo. You all cannot access this, but we're able to access it just to look at it tonight. And there are two different ways, from a troop leader and a parent perspective. We're going to look at it from a troop leader's perspective tonight. If it'll let me go in there. Oh, here we go. Sorry. Scroll down here and actually pick a grade level. We're going to be a Brownie troop. And so this is, you would actually log in from the website, and this is what you would come to. If you're actually a troop leader of two troops, I mean, it happens, or you might be the co-leader, but you help out with the troop, a volunteer. You'll actually have an access, when you come in, you'll see two tabs, which you can actually pick between the two troops that you want to look at. So here is the Brownie. And as I said before, here are the tabs across the tops. So they have the year plan, the meeting plan, and the resources. So this is for planning your year. You can actually click down in here and actually pick what you want to do to begin with. Maybe you want to plan your year around a world of girls. You can actually create your own yearly plan. You don't have to use it, but you can actually do it by badges, by journeys. And then this is a mix. I keep losing it. So let's do this. This is a mix of Brownie year with badges and a journey in it. So what's really cool about this is you may say it gives you 15 meetings. If you scroll down, you'll see 15 meetings in this. And you can actually pick them up and move them around. And you can add to this as well. If you've decided you don't want to do that badge, or you specifically, want to try a different badge, or you're going to have an activity that event, you're actually able to go in and add your own activities. You're able to go in and manipulate things as needed. Within each meeting itself, there is an overview area, there's an activity plan, and there's a materials list for it. And it's incredible the stuff that they give you in here, because it really helps you figure out. They even have a timeline, and you can actually go in and change all this. You can move this around. So we're going to do the team passport down here. We're going to go ahead, and this is team passport's only going to take 15 minutes. You can actually go in and change your times, move things around. You can add other agenda items to it, add notes to it. It's very customer-centric friendly. It understands kind of a little bit how most people would click on things and move things around. On top of that, the resource area we spoke about. So there's multiple resource areas with regards to different videos, meeting aids, working with parents, the activities checkpoints. There are different things that will be unique to our council that are in this area. And then the other two that we spoke about previously, the My Troop tab speaks along the lines of the girls that are in your troop and their information. Hold on, open it up. There's also an area in here where you're able to track their achievements, which is great, especially at the junior level, because that's when girls like to kind of go off on their own and do their own badge work. So you can see there's actually in here an attendance record, so you're able to actually track what girl, you're able to go in and click on by name in the attendance area who attended what meeting, and then it shows up in their profile. And you're able to update the contact information as well. And the parents will have they will be able to view only their daughter. They'll be able to do some updates too. So, oh no, the finance tab isn't here yet, but that's okay because it's coming down the road. And from what I've read about the finance tab, it'll allow volunteers to report the troops' incoming and outgoing finances in a number of kind of different income and expense categories. We'll be able to either do it quarterly or annually. It'll be up to the council itself. So when we start this up later on during the summertime, we'll be able to send you more information about how we're going to actually utilize the finance tab itself. Those are the different areas within the Volunteer Toolkit itself. I found that I'm going to show you just briefly let's start with the first video here. There's some videos actually of how you can go about utilizing it. It's kind of neat to actually see someone demo it live, but it was really interesting to see kind of how they manipulate it a little bit better. So I'm going to do the first one. It's about the yearly plan options that you have, so you can actually see all of it at once. We'll play this video. It's under 2 minutes. Okay, let me just take a little break there. There's actually 5 within this video series itself. They're incredible tutorials that they have. overall. But this one's actually about setting the meeting dates and times and locations of your troop meeting. I thought I would go ahead and skip that one and just do one more. It's 2 minutes, it's close to 3 minutes, this one, but it goes over just the meeting plan overview, and we'll leave it at that one. So we'll just do this one briefly here. Okay, so that kind of gives you a little bit more overview of kind of what the volunteer toolkit itself is comprised of. I mean, it's a huge amount of stuff in here. What's nice about it, it's pretty well laid out and kind of self-explanatory as you're going through it. They have actually added something new in here, which is cool, is this get outside in order to get troops more involved and get girls more involved in going outside. And they actually have these little cute tree icons next to different badge activities that have outside elements to them. And they've also, within the resource area, they've added outdoor videos within it. I know they added them. Maybe actually they added them within this area here. Well, I had read that they added the outdoor videos in here, and this is a demo site, so they may not have added them directly into the demo site itself. But it's a nice new addition. And with everything in Girl Scouting, this volunteer toolkit, it's been around for the past 4 years with other Girl Scout councils, with other Girl Scout troops out there. And as they've gone along, they've actually, just like the Girl Scout movement itself, they improve upon it, they go out and they make sure that we are moving with the technology and moving with what the troop leaders really need and want. That's kind of an overview of the volunteer toolkit itself. And actually, I'm going to open it up for questions now in case you all want me to click on something, or if you want me to, if you have a question that you need asked about it. Anyone have any questions about it, or you want me to click and try some new things? I'm up for that.
Jennifer, did you say as the service unit manager we don't have access to it, or how do we have access to it?
The only positions, well, actually not positions, but the only people that have access to the Volunteer Toolkit are the troop leaders, co-leaders, and the parents. So it is basically, it's for the troops, but service units do not have access to it.
So we couldn't look at it and see how many girls are in a group or anything
So
like
you
that.
will have access to that through the membership area. You know,
Okay.
we'll be, yeah, that's a whole different, there actually is a member profile area. That's the membership database. So what access service units have, I'm not 100% sure, but it might be similar to how we do the rosters currently. Things will just be pushed out again.
Okay, thank you.
Terry Richardson's on this call. I'm not sure if she knows of it. I've not heard exactly how service units will receive their troop information. I think, well,
yes, we can do rosters in the new Salesforce.
Okay, so it's going to be pushed out similar to the way it is now. Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks, Debbie. Any other questions? Okay, let's move on. So I was going to do a brief overview of kind of what's happening currently with this movement towards the CEI, the Customer Engagement Initiative. So currently we're in what's called the data cleanup phase. You may have heard this before. If you've been on here before, you definitely have. We're trying to make sure that all of our troop membership information is up to date. The emails, the addresses, the phone numbers, how many girls are in the troop, information like that. And we've been working out in the field to work with the service units and the local troops to get this information. If you haven't heard this yet, and you are a troop leader and you need to get your information updated, I'm going to show you there's a place on our website. Because here on our website, if you go to our council, and then if you scroll down to Customer Engagement Initiative down here, it's actually information. There's videos in here, there's FAQs, but also because we're trying to get everything ready to go live with our opportunity catalog, which is allowing the parents as well as volunteers to search for local troops. We have this area here so you can actually go in here and update your troop information, just so we kind of have an idea that everything we have in our current system, our membership system, is up to date and ready to go for the transfer. The better, the cleaner the data is, the easier the transition will be for everyone. So we appreciate everyone helping out with that. That's a big deal for us. The other thing that we're doing is we're actually looking at our business processes. We're looking at understanding how different tools, different pieces of the puzzle at the council, how we interact with the volunteers, how we communicate with them, and looking at how to make things easier and flow better so that we can take care of you all. We love you all. Thank you so much for everything you do for us. It's fabulous, and we want to make sure that we continue to get greater and greater customer service and customer care with our volunteers and our parents, so we can grow bigger and greater and offer Girl Scouting to everyone everywhere. In May, we have a test run of the system to see how everything's going, as well as we'll start doing more volunteer training out there on how we're actually going to utilize these pieces, as well as just continued communication. And then if everything goes as planned, we will actually launch everything June the 9th. That's when everything transfers over completely, and we will let everyone know. It will be a huge party. We are excited for this, and we hope as everything's going, it's a smooth transition. So far, so good. So how can you help? Like I said before, the troop data, just making sure that we get the good, clean data and we know what's going on with our troops. That's a huge thing. The other thing is, you all are the leaders out there. I mean, I'm not just talking about troop leaders, but you're the leaders in your communities, your Girl Scout communities, and just helping us spread what is CEI and what's going on. Pass along the web page It's got a great little video in there. It's got some tutorials, like I said before, FAQs. It kind of helps them grasp what's coming down the pipeline. And ask questions, lots of questions, so we can make sure that everything is a great, fast, smooth, successful transition. And because I talk so fast, we're only 26 minutes in and I'm at the end. So any other questions about CEI, about the Volunteer Toolkit or anything? I'm open to all questions. And you can type it in or you can actually unmute yourself and speak either way. I know Rennie's been on here before and Janet has been on here, so I'm sure you all have had lots of other questions before. But for anyone else out there, hi Rennie.
Hi Jennifer. I just, not being a troop leader, I have a question as how's the word getting out to troop leaders to go on the website and update and clean up their troop information?
It's actually being done through our incredible field staff currently.
Okay.
We have actually contacted them by email, at service unit meetings, and by phone calls. So they are pushing as much as possible to kind of contact them one-on-one to get the information.
Great. That was just because I'm not a troop leader. I didn't know, so thanks.
You're welcome.
Yes, we had, this is Dave. We had someone come to our meeting at first of the week and kind of did the whole little look at all the pieces of it and everything. They showed it to everyone and told everybody to update their information, and exactly like Jennifer said, that they'd been sent emails and to send it around to everybody and make sure all that information is correct. So
excellent. Thanks, Debbie, for sharing that.
Cool. I just think it looks so user-friendly. I just think it looks great.
Yeah, playing around in this system, I've done a lot of that over the past couple of months. I think it looks fabulous. So it's very customer intuitive. I kind of know where to click without having to. I didn't do a video before I went in there. I kind of played around with it. Then I'm like, well, maybe I should look at the videos first. So I kind of like that it kind of knows what I'm going to click on and what I might do. So that's kind of nice that they have that set up. The videos do help along the way, and I think it'll be easy to learn. But I like the idea that they're actually talking to the volunteers more and more about it and saying, what do you like, what don't you like, so they can look at overall what's appealing and what may need to be changed. So it's kind of nice. Any other questions? I don't see anyone else with any hands raised. Well, that's perfectly fine. So I really appreciate your time. I appreciate your efforts, and thank you so much for loving Girl Scouts and, spending a little time with me to learn about CEI, and please pass it along. Please pass along the information, and if you have any other questions that you think of afterwards, give me a shout out. Email me, give me a phone call. You know where to get me. But I appreciate you all so very much, and thank you, and have a great evening. Bye, everyone.
Jennifer,
Thanks, Jennifer. Good night.
Good night.
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 Night.